So I got my hands on what I consider to be the best piece of streaming tech of 2022, and it is amazing for all of the reasons you think of and some that you weren't. You see, I got my hands on the StreamDeck Plus. And oh man, when I say this thing is awesome. Now, yes, it does all the normal Stream Deck stuff, but what I have found is that I can actually use it to be an entire Canva control module. I've used it in styles for all kinds of really cool stuff. So let me show you a demo of how I'm using the Stream Deck Plus in Canva to actually control things, to make very microscopic movements and actually do keybinds and things that I often forget about. It is honestly one of the coolest tools that I've found to pair with Canva. Anyway, let me show you a demo of how I did it, and toward the end of the video, I'll show you how to set yours up if you have one or if you're planning on getting one. The sponsor of this video is 321 Grow, my bi-weekly newsletter all about growing your stream, whether that is on Twitch, YouTube, Trovo, or TikTok. Every other Monday, I'll be sending out 3 tips for you to implement in content creation, whether that is on Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or other forms. Then there'll be 2 random ideas for you to implement or read over just to generate more ideas for your content. And then there'll be 1 free resource in every single email. So this will be sent out every other Monday. I'll have a link down below if you want to sign up for that newsletter. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, so I have this scene set up. I hope that you can see it well enough. I have my C920 on the Stream Deck Plus, and I'm gonna pull over the Stream Deck software right here so you can kind of see it side by side. This is how I have it set up, and I'm gonna run you through what everything will do. And just so you know, this was sent out to me by Elgato, but everything that I say and do is my own opinions and my own ideas. But huge shout out to Elgato for sending that out. This thing has been awesome, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So you can go and see a few of the things that we have going on here. I've programmed a lot of these in, so I'm gonna actually open up Canva and show you what they do. So I actually have a button right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the back button. So this is my main scene. This is what I kind of keep. And then if I swipe to the right, this is my streaming scene. So this is all the stuff that I need to control my stream, including my mic volume, whether for hearing myself in my headphones or you hearing me. Also have my voice chat, my music, and my game audio right here. And with the click of the button, I can turn it game audio from what I'm hearing to now what stream is hearing, and I can just bump that up or down just like that. Anyway, really, really cool, but that's not what we're here for. Let me swipe back over, and I'm gonna go to my Canva folder, and then I'm just gonna hit my Canva button, and this is going to launch the Canva program. So just like that, I have the Canva app immediately launched open, okay? So this is actually a funny story. I've already recorded this video once, but my son had just woke up, and so I kind of rushed the recording, and when I went to edit it in Canva, actually I went to edit it in Canva. When I went to edit it, I realized I never did the tutorial part at the end of how for you to actually do that. So I'm gonna make sure I record that part this time. Okay, but yeah, I'm also going to be making a second page for editing in Canva. I haven't done that part yet, so I'm going to show you how I use it to design in Canva. So this is something that I was working on earlier, just kind of toying around with some stuff, but this is a good way for me to show you the mechanics that I have here. Okay, so let me shrink this down so that my face and our Stream Deck friend here is not blocking everything that you're able to see. The very first thing that I want to look at is actually this plugin right here. Okay, right now it's showing a color and a code, and it's kind of giving away what it does, but this is honestly one of the coolest tools that I think that I've ever seen. At least from a designer's perspective, this is awesome. All I have to do is hover over any color and press the button. And just like that, I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna go and click back to the Stream Deck software, but it actually changed the button to the color that I had my mouse hovered over, and then it gave me the hex code. I cannot tell you how many times I've pulled images into like Adobe Photoshop and had to like copy over and use the eyedropper tool to get the hex code. This is just saves me so much time. And the cool thing is it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like in Canva. I can go right here and grab whatever color that is with the press of a button, FEB8, B8, right? I can go just like that and grab any color on the page. I could grab this gray if I really wanted it, and just like that, in the push of a button, I can come over here and grab, you know, this orange, and it's going to change it to that orange, and it's going to give me the hex code. Just such an invaluable tool. Okay, so that was one thing. I love it. Don't worry, I'm going to get to what all these dials do, because that is probably the coolest part. This other stuff, you could do all of this with a regular Stream Deck as well. I have a regular Stream Deck right here, but this thing right here is what has really upped my game, and I'll show you why. The dials I'll show in just a moment. But okay, the next thing I have is this button right here is a copy style button. This is such a really good mechanic in Canva, and I always forget what the keyboard, I couldn't tell you right now what the keyboard shortcut is for it. So this solved it right here. So I've set this up as a toggle button, so if I have anything selected, so say I have the Jonathan Patterson text selected, I can click that. You can see the icon now change, telling me that I have a style copied. I can then go over here to say this right here and paste that style. And you see it saved the color, it saved the font, it saved the size. I'm gonna Control Z, because obviously I don't want that. Okay, had to fix something, but it's not just limited to text. Let me show you something else. I could actually go over here to this image who has a filter and some other stuff done to it. I can click copy style. I can now go to this image and hit paste style, and it will paste that onto it just automatically. I think that is really cool. I mean, especially if you have your branding and stuff set up already, and you really like to use, you know, this particular filter, or I don't know, maybe you like to come over here and you like to use this retro filter, right? You can easily enough copy that style, click on this one and paste that style on it, and you're gonna have that same filter going across all of your images. Easy enough. I mean, within 2 button presses, that to me is awesome, right? Let's say that I had, you know, 2 of these guys, and this one I had his color as like, you know, pink and red and like blue, and I'm like, man, you know, I don't like that as much as I like the colors that was used right here. I can copy this style, select this one, and paste the style, and within a couple button presses, have it matching everything else on my document. So the copy style is such a valuable tool. Now, if you see me guys make videos on here all the time, you know that I have such a problem with being able to select the elements that I want, right? And accidentally moving the wrong thing, and then I gotta like Control Z and go back. Well, I went ahead and put a lock button right here. And so if there's something that I'm trying to work with, like digital marketing, but I keep grabbing this big text, the header text here, and messing my stuff up, and I can go and click this, and I can just click the lock button, and now I cannot move that. And now I can work with this text, right? Just like that. And then whenever I'm done with it, I can just click on it again and unlock to unlock it. Maybe I got to hit it twice. There we go. But there we are. We're able to move it. Okay. The next thing that you're able to do, I went ahead and set up this copy button right here. So a little more than just a copy paste. It is actually simply a duplicate. So I can just click it, and it's going to duplicate whatever I selected, right? So I can click that one, copy. Just made a duplicate of it. Just a quick tool, just something that is there. I don't have to Control C, Control V. It's just one press of a button, and it makes a duplicate of it. Okay, so that is what I have set up here. I still have 2 spots left. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to put there, but if you have ideas of what I should put there, leave it in the comments down below, because there's 2 empty spots, and you know what? There's empty spots. We can put stuff there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these dials. I think this is the really powerful stuff that I have going on here. So the very first dial I have is a zoom function. So it's fairly simple. Zoom in, zoom out, right? Zoom in, zoom out. And in fact, I went ahead, because you can set up 3 different things. There's a right turn, a left turn, and a click. And so a lot of these, I have the click. When you do it, it changes the functionality of the right and left. But for this one, I have, whenever I click it, it just takes me back out to the fit to screen, right? So if I'm working in Canva and I'm zoomed in, all right, I'm done with it, I can press it, and it just brings me right back to 82%, right? It takes me back to the full screen. So the very next thing I have is position, and I think I'm going to relabel this one, because I keep getting confused as what it does. But what it actually does, it doesn't move things left to right. That is actually what move left and right does. This actually changes the position of an item. So if I were to click here, I could say, you know, move backwards, move forward, move backwards, forward, what, you know. But instead of doing that, I have this on this button, and so I could move it forward, or I could move it backwards. And in each little twist does that. And if I press it in, I have it set where it just sends it all the way to the back. But then I can also, you know, notch it to the right one and it moves it forward. And so whenever you're working in Canva and you have multiple layers, right, when you have a lot of layers, that is useful to be able to position it exactly where you want it, right? So I can just select something different, and now I can adjust those layers how I want them. And that position just helps you remember, instead of having to come up here and position and backwards and backwards and backwards, you can just go in with this little knob and move it forward wherever you want it to go, right? Just like that. So easy peasy. That's really cool. Not mind-blowing or anything, but I find it really useful. All right, the next tool we have is the move left and move right. So let me zoom in a little bit. And now I can actually use this to do some fine-tune adjustments. And then if I actually press it in, it changes to move up or move down. And so this is just, if I'm in here working with some fine-tune adjustments, use it to move left, move right, right. So another thing with this move up or down, if you actually have something selected, you can use that knob to do fine movements with it, right? And I can press it in, and now I can go right or left. And so this is really helpful when you're trying to line something up. You can just use this and move in little small increments. You can see how easy that is. That honestly is easier than trying to move here and keep it lined up, you know, this way and get it right in that little notch. I can actually just grab my little wheel here, and right there it is. Line it up perfect, come out this way, and just like that, you know, line it up. There we go. And and then if you have nothing selected, then it will obviously take the page up or down and up. So those are pretty easy. And the very last one I have set up is just my alignment tool. So this is something that I actually use a lot. And you could always do this coming over here and clicking through these however you want your alignment to be. So what I've done with this one, if I set it up, if I go to the right, it right aligns. If I go to the left, it left aligns. And if I go to the center, well, it center aligns. And you know, it's just a quick and easy tool that when I'm working with something, I can test out different things. How's it look to the right? How does it look to the left? How does it look centered? And I can go with it from there, just with quick click of the buttons. And so that is how I have mine set up right. Yeah. All right. So that is what I have set up. That was the demo. Let me show you how to set these up. Okay. Okay. So the first thing I did is I went and found a page that had all of the Canva keyboard shortcuts. And I'll actually make sure that this is down in the description for you to go and grab this. It has all of the Canva shortcuts. So add text, add rectangle, add line, add circle. If you didn't know about these, well, honestly, just having this as your favorites or something would probably be really useful. So I kept those there. What we'll go and do on our Stream Deck is we're going to go ahead and add a folder. So I can add a folder like this, or I can right click and click create folder. I will title this Canva, and we'll name it 2. Sorry, I have a small tripod over my keyboard, and so typing is going to be a struggle. Okay, so just like that, the first thing that I did is I set up where I could open an application. And so if you go down here to System, you can go to Open, just like this, and all you have to do is navigate to the file. And I know that I have the Canva one on my desktop. I know my desktop looks empty, but that's because I hide the icons. But it is there. So just like that, that is the Canva one. And I'd delete the title because the title's in the logo. I don't really need that. The next tool that I had was that color picker tool. Now it is actually over here in the store. It's called a store, but best I could tell, everything was free. But it was in the plugins, and I think that I found it looking under one of these tools. I can't remember which one exactly, but if you go under here and search color picker, it should be this one right here. That's the very one that I used. But all you have to do once you have it installed is search for color picker, and I just grabbed it and I put it right here. I have mine set to on key press. It would show the color name, the RGB value, or the hex. I want the hex myself, and you can actually have it where it'll copy it to clipboard. I did not know about that until just now, but you can actually have it on dynamic. So anytime you hover over something, it's constantly changing. That is stressful to me, but if you want it like that, you can do that. I would rather actually press the button. So yeah, that one kind of wigged out on me anyway. I don't like that. I would rather actually press the button and it work. And then I would rather it show me the hex. I am curious what the color name is, so I'm going to try it. Sienna. Okay, so I mean, it'll give you like a, you know, what's it going to tell me for this? Light blue. I'll try again. Medium sea green. Okay, well, that is cool. I'll give you that. That is cool. Not necessarily what I need. I need the RGB value. So let's set it back to that. Or I'm sorry, I lied. I need the hex. I never work with RGB. See, that's why. Okay, so the next thing that I'm gonna set up here is gonna be a hotkey switch. And so this is the one that copies and pastes the style. And so you can find it under system and it's just titled hotkey switch. And then I titled mine copy style. Yeah. And so I actually found the keyboard shortcut right here. It is Control-Alt-C. So all I gotta do is click right here. It's listening to me. I can go Control-Alt-C. And then to paste is Control-Alt-V. Control-Alt-V. And there we go. So now I have this toggle set up so that when I click it, it will copy. And now that would be my icon to have it copied. But I'll show you how I actually got the icons that I'm using. And I don't mean to keep messing with that. So if you go right here, you can change the icons. And I've actually went right here under icons. And I've downloaded a bunch of these that I thought would be useful. I haven't downloaded all of them, but I did like the Photoshop and some of the other ones. So I downloaded some from there, and that's where I got this one. But if you click that, you can now go open Stream Deck icon library and come down. You can obviously choose any of these that you want, but I like the ones where you can see a good difference. So I think I'd go with this one and this one for when a style is copied. I think it would look good. And I can move this over here, switch to the second icon, and choose that one. And so now when I have a style copied, it's gonna light up red. I think that's good, right? So now I'm ready to copy a style. Boom, when a style's copied, it's red. And then that's to paste the style. Okay, so that is how I set up the copy style. So the next one that I have set up right here is the lock element, which is Alt-Shift-L. And so on this one, all I need it to do is be a hotkey. And I think I just titled this one lock. And then Alt-Shift-L, and there we go. Then, of course, I went in and changed the icon to something that made sense for it. Then the final one that I did was just another hotkey, and this is the duplicate. And essentially, this one should be titled duplicate, but it is Control-D. That's how I set those up. But let's go ahead. I'm sure you're curious about these, how you actually set these up. Let me show you. So these are pretty easy. All we're gonna do is switch. When we click here, it automatically switches us to dials, but even if it didn't, say I was still over here, I can click on dials and I can choose any of these that I want. Essentially, all I want though for this one, because it's gonna be the zoom in, zoom out, is it's gonna be a hotkey. And so I'm going to place it right here. I'm just gonna title it as zoom. And then I know that my zoom is Control plus, zoom out is Control minus, and then to go to the 100% like I had it, I'll go back and double check what that one is. I don't remember what it is. So counterclockwise is going this way, so I want my zoom to be going this way. So my zoom is going my zoom in is going clockwise, my zoom out is going counterclockwise. So this would be Control minus, and this one is Control, can't reach it, plus. And if you want to know what this one was set to, I'm just gonna go back and check. It is Control-Alt-0. So rather than just going to 100%, this actually goes to like fill screen. And so it is Control-Alt-0. And so that is exactly how I did the zoom, is just like that and set up the hotkey. And so I did the same thing for this one. I'm gonna go back and see what this one was because I don't remember. I apologize. This is my position. And so it's Control, bracket left. What is that called, guys? My brain has stopped working. And then Control Alt back. This is what I would call this. Okay, so that's all you have to do to set this up. Is you would go here. It'd be Control back, Control forward, and then this is Control Alt back, which sends it all the way to the back. And I named this I'm going to name this layers. I think that makes a little more sense and might help me understand it. And so the next one is going to be move up and move down. And so it looks like this one I actually did. Yeah, so these next two, I will show you how to do these for sure, because these are actually a little bit different than the other. So let me jump over and I'll show you how these work, okay? So rather than it just being another hotkey, right? Rather, it's going to be what's called a dial stack. And so the way a dial stack is almost like a multi-action, except now when you press the dial, it changes the functionality. right? Okay, so now I'm gonna put a hotkey in here. And so this is going to be my move up, move down, right? So this first one is gonna be move up. And I think I put a slash down, okay? And so it's essentially going to be up arrow, down arrow. And I'm gonna go and make sure I did this correctly. Yes, so you can see how I did it here. I actually put it move down, so counterclockwise is down, clockwise is up, and then nothing in the press tab because the press tab is going to change it from move up down to move left right. And so that's how I had it changed. So one is up and down, the other's left and right. Of course, if you didn't need, you know, your alignment or your position or something like that, you could put it on one of the other dials. So you had a dial for up and down and a dial for left and right. You could have like an Etch-a-Sketch thing. Now my brain's running. I'm wondering if I can make that with this. Can I make this where I do an Etch-a-Sketch thing? I don't know. Something to think about. But then the alignment, it is exactly the same way. It is another hotkey, and so it's just right here, Control Shift L to go all the way to the right. And these alignment the alignment is over here somewhere. Right here, this is your alignment options. You could also put in here to uppercase or lowercase or italicize. You could add any of this in that you want to do. But here is the keyboard shortcuts for how to set that up. It is really, really easy, but it makes a world of difference. But anyway, I would love to hear what you guys are doing with this. Are you going to implement something like this, or do you have a regular Stream Deck you're going to implement? Or did you get one of these Stream Deck Plus for Christmas and you're going to use it to up your Canva game? All right, guys, I really hope that video was helpful. I can't wait to see what you guys do with that. I will say that was actually, this tip was intended to be part of a 10 Canva tips video that I'm working on. It was going to be like number 1 or 2 because it's so good. But then I decided kind of last minute that I'm going to make it its own standalone video because I really thought that it deserved kind of a long form explanation and tutorial for how to set it up. Anyway, I do hope that it was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you're able to use it, if you have one, and how you're going to use it. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, follow me over on Twitch, and I'll see you in the next one.